To be honest, I'm not feeling that great today. I just had my COVID booster shot, so I'm a little out of it. But we're still in Noirvember, so we must persevere. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. This is my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today we look at 4 people who are caught in the web. Let's check it out. That's right, today's film noir is The Web from 1947. It's in beautiful black and white, 87 minutes long. And this one is about a small-time lawyer who gets hired by a very wealthy business owner as a bodyguard. And that leads to a web of romance, betrayal, and yes, murder. This was directed by Michael Gordon. I have never heard of Michael Gordon. He directed mostly low-budget crime thrillers and some other films. But then during the McCarthy era, he was blacklisted and didn't work for a long time. When he finally did return to directing, it was mostly mainstream comedies like Pillow Talk with Doris Day. The cast is great. It stars Edmund O'Brien, who is just one of the greatest American character actors. His noir credentials include DOA, The Hitchhiker, directed by Ida Lupino, and The Killers, directed by Don Siegel. And some other films he appeared in, are you ready? The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Birdman of Alcatraz, and The Wild Bunch. So he's got a lot of strong credentials there. In this film, he is a very savvy guy, very suspicious, but also quite kind-hearted. The love interest is Ella Raines, and she's known for noirs such as Phantom Lady and Brute Force and The Suspect, which I mentioned in another episode. Here she's very tough, but also quite vulnerable. And you'll see the picture of her on the cover here. She does not pose like that in the film. She doesn't dress like that. So like a lot of film posters, it's a little bit exaggerated. William Bendix is also in this film. And whenever I thought of William Bendix, I always thought of the show he did, a sitcom in the 50s called Life of Riley, where he was a typical bumbling sort of sitcom husband. It wasn't until I started watching film noirs that I realized he was in quite a few of them. In some other films, he was like the comic relief kind of bumbling guy in those. But then in some film noirs, he was more of a tough guy. In this one, he is a detective, actually, and he is very tough, very sarcastic, and very smart. And I think, for me, his most memorable role that I've seen so far is in The Blue Dahlia, where he plays a war veteran who has a plate in his head and he has memory loss and is very tortured sort of by a PTSD, only they didn't have a name for it back then. And you'll see references to the war pop up in a lot of film noirs because that was the era, the general time frame. And they're dealing with the horrors of World War II and the PTSD of some of the that occurred in some of the veterans. In this film, they do refer to the war very briefly, and there's a reference to Hiroshima. Now, as if that cast wasn't enough, Vincent Price is in this too, one of my favorite actors. I love him in almost everything he does, even when he's a little over the top. He plays the wealthy business owner in this one. He's very smart, comes off as very nice at the beginning, but then he seems kind of smarmy, and we see him being very deceptive, very manipulative, and always one step ahead of everybody else. As far as his film noir credentials go, Laura is the one to check out, of course. So as you can see, the cast is a big strength of this film. The story's good, it's tightly plotted, it moves along, it's got a lot of twists and turns. There are a lot of sexual double entendres between O'Brien's character and Raines' character. The weaknesses of this film include the fact that it's not very interesting visually. There are no wow moments visually that you get in a lot of noirs. And also the scenes between Raines and O'Brien, the romantic scenes, the music kind of gets a little syrupy and a little over the top when they're together. So, what's on this disc? Well, there's not too much. There's a trailer. There's a commentary by a film historian. It looks great, sounds great. Where can you see this? I don't see it streaming anywhere. You can buy it, of course, and you can try your local library. They might have it in their branch, or maybe they can reserve it for you and get it from another branch. So that's it for the web. Hope you like this video. Feel free to leave a comment down here. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors otherwise. Thanks for watching. See you next time.